Well, hello everybody. This is Ash and Prime here once again to do some more what I'm calling Pitioss All Rooms, which is where I do the Pitioss dungeon in Final Fantasy 15, and try and go through every spot in the dungeon, every room in the dungeon. There are some skips here and there, and but for the most part, yeah, just kind of just kind of waiting for my machine to wake up and realize what's going on. But for the most part, it's just going through almost the intended route. It's almost the intended route. I call it all rooms because I go through every room in the dungeon, which isn't the normal path for the any percent version of the dungeon, because the any percent version has a gigantic skip right at the beginning of the dungeon. It takes like 2 minutes. For me, you can see... Oh, no, you can't see on the timer. My current PB is like 34 minutes to get through the whole thing. And I'm hoping to get that way down by utilizing just some better tactics, trying to get through rooms on the first try rather than taking several tries to get there. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and go for our first one here, as you do. So, boop. Nope. Streamer timer did not start. Great. Let's go ahead and just reload the save real quick. And see if I can figure out why my timer didn't start. Settings. Ah, because I hit the wrong darn button. That would be why. Great. You'd think I'd be able to remember my own darn hotkeys, but nope. One thing worth noting, just if you caught any of my streams previously, this is different on a few different ways. Obviously, the most notable is that I've added music, which I hadn't had before. I'm using Pretzel because Pretzel is a service that allows you to, or that provides, for various payment options, provides copyright-free music, or the stuff that won't get caught by Twitch's content ID. Or YouTube's as well. I've turned on the YouTube safe version too, because I like to upload my VODs. Okay, here we go. We'll try this again. There, that's what a timer should look like. Great. I've also, since the last time I streamed anyway, I've incorporated a few new skips about, and I'm hoping will help bring the time down in general. That's one that I probably don't need to wait for. I could probably get across that with the dagger. So let me explain a little bit about Pitioss. Really? I've never had issues trying to hit that button before. Okay, let me explain about Pitioss. It's an optional dungeon at the end of Final Fantasy 15. This is one of the skips that I was talking about. We'll see me do that quite a few more times. It is an optional dungeon at the end of Final Fantasy 15. You have to try hard to find it, and when you do, you get taken into what is a platformer. It's a platforming dungeon in Final Fantasy 15, which does not really have it doesn't have great controls for platforming, if we're being honest, which I always try to be about this game, because I love this game, I really do, but boy howdy does it have some terrible, terrible things. So yeah, it's at the end of the game. This run, I guess, is just going to kind of be a warm-up run for me to shoot. Kind of just to get a time down, and then I might do a little bit of like tech and go through and try some new skips, explore a little bit, see if there's anything new to pick up. But yeah, it's Final Fantasy 15 controls still, which is interesting because they were never meant for this kind of precision movement and platforming, but they built a platforming dungeon anyway. So you have to take Noctis, and you'll notice that Noctis is alone. We don't have the whole boy band here. You have to take Noctis through... Nope, completely missed that. You have to take Noctis through the dungeon, and the route that's intended, there is no jump that you can't make just straight up by normal jumping means like a normal human being. But there are some jumps that I make. There, made that. Like one you noticed earlier off of the back of the statue, and there'll be another one. Actually, I think there's one just up here if I can do it. That you can make using an interesting mechanic that they appear to have overlooked when they designed this dungeon, or they decided that it was there and they liked it enough that they just kept it. And that is that when you are in the air, like I'm going to be right here, you jump and you swing your daggers, it gives you a little bit of forward momentum. And you can make this jump. Other people who aren't me can make that jump. I've seen it done, but I need to get more practice with it, apparently. So I'll use that a few times to do small skips throughout. That's not going to work. Oh, I expected that one to be fine. This is probably one of my least favorite jumps here. I don't like it. There it is. Let me come over here. This is quite possibly my least favorite room. There is another problem with controls in this game, besides the fact that they weren't meant for platforming. And nowhere is that more apparent than in the way that Noctis moves after a fall. That movement right there, that weird spin that he did, that's almost purely random. How he... Oh, well, that was silly of me. I'm normally much better at this room. His recovery animation, I guess I should say, after a long fall is completely out of the control of the player. Here's one where that's just a little bit farther than you're supposed to be able to jump, but with the daggers you can get right over those and not have to hit the spinning platforms in the middle. So yeah, his recovery animation isn't in the control of the player, obviously. It's a little bit tricky at times to get. Now, I'm going to take my normal route through here, but this is a spot that I want to spend some time doing some tests in, because I feel like... Nice. That last jump that I just made is one of the harder jumps for me to get. So I'm really pleased that I got it first try there. But I have another method that I want to try in the future. Okay, here is a big skip in this room that I have to wait for the platform to come by. My timing was just a bit slow there. I don't know if these are on a global timer. I have to assume that they are. There we are, nice. I don't always get that first try, so I always feel good when I do. Oh, nope, okay. At the very least, I don't have to go back to the beginning of the room and do that skip again. Because you're supposed to ride these platforms all the way around the room. And then you get over here and come on up like I just did, and hop on this guy. We're on the intended route through the room. Oh, I just keep jumping too soon there. I'm not entirely sure why. It'd be nice if these platforms were a little bit less spread out. I'm not entirely sure what exactly the way that they're laid out in this space. What I do know is that getting this one right after the other is actually not common, but it is the fastest cycle. I just need to do some testing and see if I can figure out what the friggin' cycle is. Oh no, let's not run into the spikes there and have to redo the entire room. That would suck. There are other things like up here. I want to find a skip from the platform there, from the top of the stairs there to the bottom of the ramp that we're heading over to. Because as it is, this whole running about thing is kind of annoying. But it's fine for the most part. Alright, so we come right on through. Nope, no. Carefully, Noctis. It is worth noting, I think, that I am running this on keyboard and mouse. Worth noting because I think it actually gives me a little bit more control. I actually booted up my PS4, which I haven't used for a while, and tried running this route with the gamepad, which admittedly I don't have as much practice running this route on the gamepad as I do with my keyboard and mouse, because I've been doing this run recently. So that right there is one of the one of the spots where I talk about where you don't have quite as much control over the recovery as I wish I did. I'm jumping tracks here. Oh, I haven't been updating my splits. That's fine. I will do, well, fine. We'll go ahead and we're in the schoolroom now. I actually did pretty good getting through the side rooms there. At least 2 minutes off based on the fact that I didn't hit my splits. Alright. I'll go through and tweak those later if I care. I probably don't. I'll just have to delete the 2 that are my second and third rooms there, because obviously I don't want to have to try and deal with a PB in those rooms that is actually unattainable. Anyway, I had a point that I was making at some point. Keyboard and mouse. I tried playing it on the PS4 using the gamepad recently, and I didn't do as well. And part of that, I'm sure, is just that I'm not as practiced with the gamepad anymore. I recently looked. I've been using keyboard and mouse since the Windows Edition came out, and so I recently looked on Steam, and I have over 200 hours in this game so far. And so that's 200 hours of keyboard and mouse, as opposed to on the PS4, I think I'm only like at 160-ish, so almost 200, not quite, but with the gamepad, and it's been a while. It's been 200 hours ago since I played with gamepad, so part of it is I'm sure that I'm just not as practiced with it anymore. Not as practiced with it as I wish I was. Alright, this is one of my personal got to stop and pay attention points. Because I'm real good at getting to here and missing. Okay, I'm not going to open that checkpoint. If you don't know Pitioss, there are that weird face that you almost saw there. But yes, not getting that allowed me to make this cycle, which is just going to speed things up, which is great. I just have to be perfect for the rest of this, which is fine. I can be a little bit cautious, and I think I'll be fine. So there are those faces open up. You see that purple miasma down beneath me here. That's a shortcut. There's a face on the other side of that purple. If you destroy the face, the purple goes away, and you can walk through it. Okay, don't choke at the end and we'll be good. So yeah, I purposely skipped past those shortcuts because I don't need them. There we are. Like I said, don't need them. This one, that's the door I'm talking about there. The one in this room is actually kind of annoying because it goes straight to the end of the room, which would be great if it was your second or third time through this place and you were just trying to get to the end of the room for some reason. But when it's your first time, or as if it is the first time, which is how I'm doing my run, it's not helpful. This room is fun, though. The weird angles make it interesting. You just kind of have to get a feel for what is and is not a plane that you can stand on. Or, like I have, just go through it enough times that you know already what's okay, what's an active... or where you're supposed to be going, I guess. That's what I meant to say there. As I mentioned, I'm using Pretzel for the music here, mostly because partly because the music in the dungeon is repetitive, and I'm sick and tired of it. Partly because I just kind of like having cool music. But I am using Pretzel for free, which means that it's posting the links to the songs in the... Oh, and I forgot to do my splits again. I will do my splits as I get through this room. It'll be fine. That's a tricky jump. I don't know if I could miss that first platform and just get right down to the second one. So if you see that girder to the side there, that's what leads up to the exit, which is annoying, or to that that shortcut, which is annoying because the exit to the room is literally right here. So we're going to go ahead and drop through here. Boom, boom, twice. So I won't have great... so the splits, I guess, for this are not going to be useful, but that's okay. I'm mostly interested in getting the total time. So this room is kind of one of my favorites, mostly because it's just so silly. It's like, oh, let's take this 3D game and just suddenly, for no good reason, make it a 2D platformer. That's fine. I'm really pleased with this run so far. I haven't warmed up or anything. Let's get a little bit farther away from the edge there. It is still a 3D game, even if we're looking at a 2D world. Okay, I'm really pleased with this so far. I haven't, except for that one miss in the skull room, I haven't had any flubs. Haven't had to really repeat a room. I guess there was one in ballroom as well. That might seem weird. That was on purpose. It is actually just faster to fall there to be taken to the next part of the room than to spend the several more seconds it takes to climb up the ladder. There is a gigantic skip in this room, and I can't do it. So for this run, I'm not going to try to. Like I said, later might be trying to tech things out, do some practice with some different.
This is ridiculous.
Do some practice and try some different strats, and that will be, and the skip will be one that I try. I just, at the moment, I don't know how to do it. I've tried. Okay, come on up here, hit the trigger for movement, then come back down because this is faster. I've tried it a few times, but there's a very specific movement technique that you have to use that I'm just not well practiced in. So I'm hoping to get better at it because, as it is, I'm taking a faster route through this room by riding on this rather than going through different underground spots. Oh, shoot! Or falling off like that. But it is not the fastest route through here. There's a nice big skip that saves a couple of minutes. That is unfortunately titled Boob Skip because, well, that's the statue they put in this room and you have to jump on it. Nope, too soon. This is part of my troubles with this room, is I get impatient, which is part of the reason why I want to get the skip down, because it's, once you're on the route for that skip, it's really simple. It's just right at the end. There's that mechanic you have to use that I just don't have the feel for. Interestingly, it's the same mechanic that is used to skip all of Pitioss in the first place. There is, and I might bring it up here, there is a stamina system in this game. That's the green bar that you just saw on top of my head. That it pops up every twice in a while when I'm running. And part of that stamina system is if you hit the run button again at just the right point of time, as you almost depleted the stamina meter, you refill the meter, which is awesome. It means that theoretically you can't ever run out of mana. Oh, this is safer. I'll just be here. Or run out of stamina. The movement trick, I probably could have just stood on that side and been fine too. The movement trick is when you refill that meter, it gives you just a little bit of a forward boost. And so you have to time it just right to hit the forward boost just as you're going over the edge, and then still swing your the daggers at the right time. And that's how you get the big skip that gets you through the entire dungeon in just a couple of minutes. I am not accomplished at using that technique at all. I can't quite get the timing down. I tried on a few different occasions, but it's I didn't do so hot in the statue. Not surprising, it took me a couple of tries to get through there. Anyway, Not accomplished at using that movement technique. So instead, I just go through the room normally. I mean, it is also part of the reason why I don't just do Pitioss 80%. Also because Pitioss 80% at this point is just like... It's so quick now that it's not really worth continuing to try it, in my opinion. No, that's not what I wanted. And also, I like the dungeon. I like that 2D room. I like some of the spiky rooms. This one, not so much. This is one of the rooms that I could do without, but it's fine. Get up and over.
A city full of broken faith, hearts in ruin, wonder
Chip on his back. One down here. That's the second time. Nope. Oh, good. Nope, never mind. It didn't quite catch me. I was hoping that it would, but it didn't quite. Okay. So this is my third time through this room, which is not unusual for me. This is one of the rooms that I have more trouble with. Doesn't help that there's sometimes when you just kind of get weirdly stuck on some of the geometry. You have to be very precise in where you're trying to walk. And you just have to kind of know where things are. When if it is your first time going through that room, it's slightly tricky to find, or this room, I guess. It is sometimes tricky to find the correct route. But I guess that's true of both the tilted rooms, or all the tilted rooms, really. Everything from the first tilted room through to here, really, is just kind of tricky. You're not quite sure where you're supposed to go because there's lots of places that you can go, but only one of them takes you forward. Whereas when you get back around to here, there's one path, and it's kind of clearly laid out exactly where you need to go. This is one of the parts that I think is just easier with keyboard and mouse than it was with console, which seems weird, but that just running straight is kind of tricky. So here's another big skip that I'm not doing. The reason I'm not doing that skip is because it's not part of the route. The category that I've created that I call all rooms has to come up and over here in order to be complete, I guess. Just by the definition of what I want the category to be. Mostly because I really like this space up here. And yeah, this is fine. I thought about taking out that door to get just a little bit more insurance, but there's actually several levels of door, or several layers of door I would have to take out at that point. Because there is a very tricky jump up here that I often miss. That's not what I want. But it's fine, I have a different backup in mind if I have to do that. Those were not the tricky jumps, although those jumps are tricky. The tricky jump, there's like 2 or 3 in a row, and the first one is this one. And the trick to that one is not falling off. You see how far on the edge I got. The second one is over here, because this is kind of a tight squeeze. Ah, yes, I got it. And then I fell. It's fine. I got the button. I don't always get that button when I make that jump. And then I would have to go up and back and all the way around, and it would have been a pain, but it's fine. So the other skip in this room that I mentioned earlier that I'm not doing is not that. It's not falling off. Falling off is not a good skip in most cases. Over here. This is a jump that I need to practice more and more and more because I'm kind of bad at it. Okay, we're just gonna jump here. Good. Seems like it should be simple enough, but it's not, and I'm real bad at it. The other skip would bring you right over to here. You actually land on that girder just a little bit early, which means that you can pop that button, which opens this door, which leads you literally directly to the end. We're seconds away from it now. We come up here, pop here, jump here, here, over here. I was afraid of that one. Wasn't entirely sure I would make it. Let's just run this. There's another one of those shortcuts that takes you right to the beginning of the everything. And then I hit the button, which is... I don't remember when same room is supposed to pop. But finish is when you hit and pick up the black hood. 23 minutes. That is much better than my previous time. That's 10 minutes better than my previous time. So that's great. Makes me really happy, actually. Can I load from here? I can. Great. Let's go ahead and reload and run it back. This time I'm going to spend a little bit more time doing some exploring, so I'm actually not going to time this one. In fact, I'm going to jump over here. We can keep this up, I guess. It's fine. But I'm not timing this one because I'm specifically going to slow down and take some time in a couple of the rooms and try out a couple of things that may or may not work. But 23, that's my current PB, which just makes me really happy. I like that a lot. All right, so here we go. We start by jumping across here. Go ahead and just, you'll notice the boys leave the party there. I get stuck on that corner. Here, come on down. So let me talk through kind of my route. The first thing you do is, obviously, as soon as possible, get off that elevator and come down. Then you turn through here and you come through this hole in the fence, which is, in my opinion, the only and proper way to get through here. You jump across that using the knives to save you if necessary. Same with over here. Then you come down and around through these spike mashers. You come and you hit this button, which I normally don't have issues with, but I did last time. Then you come back. I use my jump. If you don't know Final Fantasy speedrunning, it's worth noting that jumping is the fastest movement option that isn't warp strike. It's actually faster than running. Anyway, you get off the grill, you go back to the beginning, jump on his back, and then you have to use the daggers to be able to reach the button from his back. But once you do, you've got the button pressed, which breaks the statue, which gets the head out of the way so that you can come on up here to the arm. And you know what? I just had a thought, and I'm just gonna reload now because I'm not very far in. I wonder if it's possible to get past the head and get up to this button earlier. So the two things we're going to check is, first, if that button is active earlier, because I'm not sure that it is. If the button isn't active, then it's not worth trying. Because you can only hit the button once it activates. The second is... and then if the button is active, then we'll try and see if we can get around the head. Alright, down we go. Okay, so first thing to do is look up and see if that button is active yet. It is not active yet, so we won't be able to hit it early. So when does it activate? Well, let's try first. Going this way. We'll try this button first, because this is really the first button that you can ever press. Oh, I almost didn't make it off of that in time. Once that gets up to the top, it is more difficult to get down here. Actually, I jumped off so that I can see. No, that button still isn't active. Okay. That button is active, but that's not unusual. Should we take the back road? We'll take the back road here. Ah, it didn't make it through. This will take us up top earlier.
Cake, baby.
Although we do have to listen to Noctis say cake baby like 3 times for no good reason, which is kind of annoying, and one of the main reasons why I don't like taking this path. Okay. So, that orange block is now active. Which at this point, it's not really worth it to be up here again. Oh, and I missed that button anyway, so it's fine. It's fine, I don't actually care. Okay, let's just go back and get back on the statue and do this whole bit again. So this gap is too wide even for the daggers, so you do have to wait for your slidey friend. This gap is not. Daggers will get you right across. There's a little bit of a refractory period, but it's still faster, I think, than waiting for the slide. So I'm just kind of always going to do that. Then we jump on your back. Then we hit this button. Oh, and then we see the button activate there. Okay, so you do have to you have to break the statue before the button activates. That's good to know. So yeah, the first route I did is just the fastest route through this room. Okay, now we come here. Now there's a thing I want to test here that I don't think will work, but part of the reason you have to push this ball, and you have to hit the button that's behind it, is so that it will be down here and provide a platform for you to be on so that you can jump over there. I'm wondering if I can make this jump without it. Not that way. Let's try something else. There's another weapon that gives you just a touch of forward momentum, and that is the Katana of the Warrior. So I'm going to go ahead and try that. Nope. I think this wall is here specifically to prevent any kind of that shenaniganry. Okay, let's try with these again. Yeah, no. With that wall where it is, there's no reasonable way to get through that, so you have to complete this room as designed, I guess. I want to get more confident at that jump. Let's do that. Let's spend some time just practicing this. As I come barreling around this corner, I come over here, and I just jump on there. Okay, is that faster than if I come around this corner and I come over here and I jump that way? Do I even need to use the daggers at that point? Probably not. So if I come around this corner and down that and jump over here, that's probably going to be my fastest bet there. So I think that'll be the way that I do that in the future. And then I like the void out and come back. I think it's faster than any other option, although maybe not, since you have to wait for this anyway. You have to fail at jumping into that hole like that. You don't have to fail. I just do. Or did. It's fine. This is probably the spot where I have rage quit this dungeon the most times. It was definitely my first rage quit spot when I first tried to just go through the dungeon casually. Because this jump right here is so ridiculously hard. And so I'm really pleased that I'm as good at it now as I am. So here we have the ball now, which gets us underneath the wall, which is what we need in order to jump over there. So yeah, I don't think we can get away from needing to do that room. I don't think we can just skip it entirely. Which, I mean, you'd still be going through it, so it wouldn't really be a skip, in my opinion. In my characterization, the rules for this category. Oh, there you are. Just get a little bit above it. Okay, I'm going to void out and do the jump again. We get just a little bit above. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, one more time. So we come from having hit this button. Boo, boo, boo. Want to run it as normal. That one was a miss. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, so we've hit this button. I will have come up the stairs a little bit in the cutscene. But yeah, no, we're fine there. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. Come up. Jump over. Over there. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's going to be an easy jump now to incorporate in. This jump, not so much, because it's just the timing on it I find really tricky. So I don't think they're moving at the same rate. Oh, and then I just fell off the edge. I have made this first try before. It's just not as common for me to do. Okay. I think I actually want to do that jump again now. Just to get used to it. Yep, see, that was too late. The masher caught me. I was too early. I got caught on the spikes. They're up there. Now we jump and we're over. Okay. Then getting through here. This one is a tricky land right here, because you can't be too high, otherwise Noctis rolls forward as his recovery animation right to underneath the spikes. It's really annoying. So that jump is tricky. Alright, we're through this room. Let's go through the next room. This room is my best room, in my opinion. Which, watch me flub it now that I've said that. Possibly because, again, one of those, when I first went through it, this room was just so ridiculously difficult. And now, so I spent a lot of time in it. And now it's one of my favorites, so I just kind of breezed through it. Alright, now we have a new thing I want to try over here that I'm not sure is faster, but I want to try it. So there's... If I do this, and then I jump up over here, nope. Not that badly. Do that more correctly. I mean, at this point, I kind of have a consistent strat for the second half of this room, but it's a strat I'm real bad at. Not real bad at, but... Okay, so that was fairly simple, which is what I wanted it to be. So let's do that again. I say fairly simple. My brain was going, no, no, wait, stop! There was a little bit of that happening. Ah! So my normal method, as you saw earlier, is to get on this guy, come over here, and then have to sit and wait for this to turn all the way around. So that's why I want to do the method that you just saw where I go over the top. Also because that one's just not always as, it's not as consistent. I have a method now that has consistency to it. But it took a long time to work out. Which is why I'm kind of sad to change the method to get through this room. But I think it'll be for the better. I just have to figure out how to get on the back side of these things. Oh, you just friggin' walk. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so... as we get here... we jump on this, we walk over the edge, we jump over here, jump over here, we jump over here. I think that's going to be faster than having to sit and wait, because we have to wait here first off. Have to wait for this guy to open. There's just no other way past that. But then, the cycles are synchronized such that we get here immediately at this point, which gets us on top, if I don't fail that. Just missed the cycle on that. That's fine. Okay, so we get on here. We get off here. Come on, get up. And then if I'm not failing on the geometry like that, then I get here just in time to hop on and get around it. So we go here, just kind of walk up and over, jump off here, jump off here, jump off here, and that's much faster. So yeah, that's going to be the new method of getting through that. You'll notice that I can move in cutscenes. There are some cutscenes that I choose not to because it's just dangerous. don't... Oh, I did make that. Nice. And there are other cutscenes that I choose not to because the way the camera switches back is just disorienting. But, for the most part, I try as much as possible to use those cutscenes to further... to whatever. I can move in cutscenes, so I do. I like to take that wall. So this is a spot where I feel like there should be a way. It's just angled. It's angled just wrong enough. And it's so annoying to have to reset to that point to test that I haven't found one yet. I'm not convinced there is one there. Not convinced that there's a skip available. Mostly because pretty much all of the skips that I've found so far, I've found by going way back, not way back, a year or so ago, to when people were trying to speedrun this before the any percent became we just skip the whole darn dungeon. And stolen tricks and hints and skips from people there. Like this one, I found this in a video on YouTube. And it's much better than the route that I had, which took a little bit longer. Because you had to ride the platform just a little bit farther. And so I feel like if a skip existed up here, somebody better than me would have found it by now. I would have found it back when people were still looking for those kinds of skips. But it just seems so tantalizingly close. Like there should be something here, right? Aha! Aha, aha, aha. Okay, now let's repeat that. It was along here, right? It's along here, a jump and a swing. Very nice. 2 more times. 2 more times before I'll believe it's repeatable enough by me. So yeah, I just have to jump above the level of the thing, which is achieved by coming over here. I don't know that the running jump is necessary, but it makes me feel better, so I'm probably always going to do it. But yeah, then I skip all of that stuff, which is just the best. Okay, great. That's 2 nice skips in that room. Now, obviously, I have my skip in this room that I do, and I haven't personally been able to find any other good skips. But I'm already skipping a good portion, probably like 30 seconds worth of platforming in here, so... Now you notice that I don't jump there, because if I do jump there, then the recovery animation takes too long, and this, which is a fairly narrow window, I don't hit. You'll notice that I was landing here just about the time the spikes went over my head. What I wish is that I could find a way to make this fast enough, because the next spot that I have to go to is in the front of this whole moving monstrosity. I wish I had a way to make that fast enough that I could get in there. You know what? Let me try something, since that's what we're doing here today. Alright, we come down. Nope, I missed the jump entirely that time, so we'll try that again with a little bit less fail. Again, the jumping is the fastest method of movement in the game. I get up. Nope. Did not get up there in time. Okay. I want to try that. We're going to try hopefully a little bit faster movement again this time. Aha! Okay. It's possible. It is possible. All right. Let's see if I can do this. So I have to start down here, So that as soon as it gets out of the way, I can get down. I can jump, jump, jump. Oh, nope. I failed one of my jumps there. Let's try this again. Okay, down here. Come on, come on, come on. Please get up. 2, 3, 4. Swing over. Get up, get up. Okay. We try adding more jumps in one spot, because again, jumping is the fastest form of movement. So if I can, oh shoot, no, I just messed everything up. Again, that recovery animation is just too long. This is why I don't dare jump up here, up on this top area before I fall down, because then I accidentally jump all the way down and the recovery animation is too long and I can't make it. But 1, 2, oh. Alright, come on in. Maybe right on your heels as you leave. Let me go 1, 2, 3, 4. Get down here. Come up. 2. Ha-ha! We made it. Oh, well. Let's see if it's worth it. Let's see if I can make this. I can. Okay. Okay, that's worth it. That takes off an entire cycle. That is going to be worth fighting for in the future. Which is kind of honestly upsetting because it makes my heart stop a bit to be on that much of a time crunch. I don't mind waiting there. Or I haven't minded waiting there in the past. But it is a time save, so it's one that I'm going to try and continue to do and make consistently do. I guess that's the more common way of phrasing my thoughts there. We go down here, we go over here. Here, get up. I also want to make sure that I can get this cycle. Nice. Okay, so that's a little bit of a setback, obviously. Not doing that would have been preferred, but at least I didn't fall all the way down. Because if I had fallen all the way down, then I had to restart the room entirely, because again, didn't open up any of the side paths. That was heart-stopping. I hadn't actually jumped off there, so I didn't know if I would make it. Okay. Go ahead and get up here. I don't know if my cycles were off there or just what, but that one was made with much more time than... How? How do I continue to just kind of fail that? Come on, get around the... balderdash. Okay, we come down here. I'll admit, this was not a room that I was expecting to spend a lot of time in, because I felt pretty confident with my route. But then the idea of, but wait, can I maybe make it if I just move faster, happened, and then yeah. Now I know that I can. Which I'm still not entirely sure that I want to do, because again, it drove my heart rate through the roof. Anxiety-inducing, and I don't approve. Okay. You could theoretically fall from that top one straight to the bottom one. I think it's far enough though that Noctis would roll at the end, which means that he rolls right off the edge, which is not helpful. What is this? This is Approaching Nirvana. That has some great music. Yeah, he would do that roll animation, which would take him off the edge of the scaffolding, and everything would be bad. Now, I don't...
Here goes nothing.
I haven't even attempted to find skips in this room because I don't think they exist, personally. I don't know that there's ever going to be just the way the platforms are laid out. Any skip that you would have would be just jumping earlier, falling a greater height, then I think you would lose then any time gain from that. Due to the fact that you then have to go through the recovery animation. And jumping just really isn't effective in this room because you'll notice you just kind of fall. That's just the way the twists are built. The way this whole thing is twisted is if you try and jump down an incline, you just kind of fall to the end of it. Try and jump up an incline. You overshoot. You overshoot, just like that. At least I overshoot. You may or may not overshoot, but I do.
I'm lost in old ways. I'm not afraid. Just listen.
Good music. I'm quite enjoying it. I mean, obviously I enjoy having this music, which is why I made it part of the stream, but it's kind of more of an experiment than anything to see if it actually would be a thing I wanted to do in the future. And it is. And so I'm going to. It'll be great. Oop. That's a kind of skip, I guess. Not really. That's just... No! Why did that happen? I don't know. Was not paying enough attention to why I just kind of ran off the edge there. Okay, Pretzel. Sure. Why don't you play me the OST from a different video game? It's like it knows the track title. Look at that track title. Oh, my Now Playing doesn't actually show you that this is from the Dungeon Man's OST. Which I'm fine with, because, yeah. I do use the sprint on these because he likes to crouch walk across them. I mean, understandably, if I was trying to walk up a 45-degree incline, I would probably do a little bit of lowering of my center of gravity as well. But if you sprint, then he'll move just a touch faster on them. Worth noting, kind of the interesting way that Noct controls. I used this way of describing it in a previous stream, and I kind of stand by it, is that Noctis is obviously his own character. Not just kind of in the characterization in the game, although that too, but also in how he moves. You can give him suggestions of, would you please go this way, or please go that way, and most of the time he'll follow them, but other times he'll just kind of be like, no, I'm doing my own thing. My favorite is when you stop and then he just takes like 2 shuffling steps forward. I assume because they're like, well, we have this whole animation cycle that he has to complete. But my thoughts on that are... also worth noting that there is kind of an intended skip that I took up there. There's a route divergence, I guess I should say. Because it makes it look like there's one route that you definitely want to go up, or one spot where you want to go up, because previous times when you've gone down, you will have died. But actually, in this specific spot, if you go down, it's faster. It's just faster. Because going up sucks in that spot. Okay. I'm going to try twice to get the skip in this room. If I do not get it either try, then I don't care. And I kind of am bored of doing this anyway and want to do one more full run before the end of the night. End of the stream, which will be happening soon. Probably less than an hour before I will be bored of streaming and want to go home. Okay, so I completely forgot that I was trying to do the skip, and so I did not do any of that right. So let's try this again without me getting distracted by my own voice. So we start by coming over here, we jump over here, a little bit of dagger to get us down safely. I don't know that falling and recovering is faster than going the intended route. I do know that because of what you have to do to get the movement to start. Okay, so I missed it on that one, that's okay. I can still get it over here. Alright, so for this skip, you want to be over here, which conveniently enough is fairly simple to get to. And then again, that running trick that I told you about, where you want to get your stamina empty. At the correct moment, so that you can run off the edge just as you hit the refill. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make sure that I have the right timing for getting the refill, because I'm not sure that I do anymore. Since I've got the Royal Edition, I've actually not been very practiced with it. So I think it's here? Yes. Just that last little sliver left. Okay.
Are you mine or are you not mine?
I'm yours and I'm yours.
You're the side from my soul rise.
Feel your fear.
And then I realized sitting here running into a wall is not the most interesting content, but... Nope, not yet. Close, but no cigar. Oh, nope, that's just me falling off. Okay. I'm not going to count that as one of the tries, because that was a bad fail. Okay. Oh, nope, bad. Not counting that either. Ride this around to where it becomes a walkable surface. Then we get up here, do the same. We jump over here, get down here. Okay, great. We're in the same spot again. Now, to run down the stamina bar. This is part of the reason why I'm not entirely sure that this is actually faster. And or it might be faster if I could get this down. It would probably be faster to do this on a very low level character, a very low level Noctis, because then the stamina bar would not be nearly as full. So that's a thing to think about, is possibly in the future. Whew. Nope, I missed. Okay, so that was my first try. I get one more. This time I'm coming down this way. You'll notice that the stamina bar stayed there. But yeah, the fact that you have to sit and run out the stamina bar makes me think that this might not be the fastest method. I'm in a bad spot. I actually have no idea where I am now, or if I can get to where I need to be. I don't think I can get up on top. Trying to figure out if I can get anywhere that's helpful. I don't believe I can. Okay, starting over. sound. Love miracle of sound. Well, that was too far, but it's fine. I can get this one. I think this one's actually easier. Personally, I think it's easier to get here than it is to get on the first one. What's helpful here is that if you fall, there is this wall down here that'll catch you. So that's nice. Okay. We start running out our stamina. Which again, if I can get to where I can do this skip consistently, then having less stamina would be a good thing. Okay. Nope. Missed my window there. So at that point, I would probably just start a fresh save file, put on the experience band, try and go through the entire freaking game at level 1, which would be tricky, but I know there are other speedrunners who do it. Not my personal play philosophy. My personal play philosophy is... Oh shoot, did I just make it? Nope, I missed. Alright, well... And it wasn't close enough for me to want to try again. Although I did apparently hit the stamina spot at the right thing, which was more luck than anything else. Come on down here. On over here. Down here. Cross over there. Anyway, to get a low-level Noctis into Pitioss would not be a minor achievement. It would actually take quite a lot of work. Come on, move. There we are. So yeah, I think if I just ride this all the way down, I'll be good. I don't think I even have to move again. Normally you're rattling around in there quite a bit. But this is much simpler. Yeah. But if I could get a low-level Noctis into here with a lower stamina bar, or a smaller stamina bar, less stamina to have to get rid of to do that trick, it might be worthwhile. And boom. Alright, those were the things that I wanted to try. So I think I'm just going to reload at this point and do a whole nother run. So we'll go ahead and get set for that. And as much as I like that 23 minutes as my PB, I'm really hoping to beat it because I want to have my PB have actual good splits on them. Not that thing that I just did where I was all over the place. I completely forgot that, you know, splits are a thing. So that'll be fun and exciting and hopefully something I can do. Alright. Guess I should load this up so I can take a look at. Okay. Alright, here we go. On over here, lose the boys, get into the zone where you can't save in there, which is why my save spot isn't just like right here. Hit the button. Take the elevator down. Well, that was interesting. What did I get stuck on? Okay. So I don't know how much of this dungeon is on global timers. I had to assume that it's less, but there's quite a bit of it that just... Oh, well, that's not helpful. But there's quite a bit of it that just doesn't move. Why are you lagging right now, game? Okay, well, stop. Stop. The game is misbehaving, so we're going to try and lose a few things. We'll lose some of that. Free up some more memory. Not much else I can close, though. Let's see. Let's make sure that you are not... Actually, we can do this here. Get rid of that entirely. You can go away. Need all of these still up, though, so they can all stay. Okay. Let's reload. Try this again. Boop. Boop. Yeah, pretzel. I kind of like it. And by kind of, I mean I like it quite a bit. Probably going to keep using it for these because it's just so nice to have some... I really like the radio services, is how I'm going to describe them. Things that randomly not randomly, but curate the music for me, because I'm bad at that. My playlists are all kind of one-dimensional, or at least one artist in most cases. So having a service that will feed me music that I'm not necessarily familiar with, but that fits a certain subtype of things that I have said I would like to listen to, it's useful. Okay, hit the button. Break the skull. Up here. Up, fall. We fall. That's not ideal. I believe that's just the first fall in this room. Noctis will make that. Will make that observation. What in the world is going on? 1 second. Nope, this is confusing me. What are you doing? I'm very confused by what my timer was doing there. So we're gonna restart here. Why was it starting in the negatives? Oh, right, because my last splits were terrible. I need to edit those. Okay. You should go away. How do I edit? Make it that. Seriously, they'll go away. That's not working either. Okay, well, you know what? How do I just straight clear everything? That's how. Okay, it's down here. You as well, and you, and you, and you know what? We might as well just clear up the whole everything. We'll keep the finish time because that one was consistent, but everything else was just kind of bad. Like my best segment is not that, and I don't care what you say. 33 seconds is, or 33 milliseconds, not a best segment on that. Okay, sure. Also, I don't remember when I'm meant to hit the... when I meant to hit the split for same room. I need to do some looking up into that one. So here, 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of leave the music running and just go take a look at what I've done in the past and see if I can figure out what in the world I was thinking. Okay. Okay. I have figured out what I meant to do there. So, I know when I'm hitting that button now, which is good. Alright. Let's go ahead and try this again. And hope that not hope, and actually hit my splits correctly this time. That'll be great. Oh, there you go. That's how easy it is to just not. Okay. So these are definitely on a global timer. I'm fairly certain those start as soon as you can see them, maybe even earlier. I feel like a lot of these do. Other mechanisms you can kind of see when they start moving. These ones I think are some that are on a global. Go ahead and jump over here, hit that thing. Going down and over and around. Okay, great. Oh, nope, I missed the button. I missed the button entirely. How did I do that? This is getting off to an auspicious start. Which is really annoying because the very first run I did without any warm-up, just logging in and going, got a new PB that was over 10 minutes better than my last one. But all of my splits for it were just terrible because I forgot that splits were a thing. This will be fine though. We'll be fine. Wait, what? I'm just realizing that for some reason that I don't entirely know why my game has gone full screen, which has never been a thing that it's done before. That confused me. Not entirely sure how I made that happen. But I'm certain it's something that I accidentally did. Some terrible combination of eldritch buttons. Also, I'm not entirely sure how I didn't notice. That's my favorite part about it. It was there and I just didn't notice it. Okay, here we go. Boop. A little bit choppy there, game. And by game, I mean my computer. My computer's not great. It's a few years old now. It needs some love, but, you know, money is always the issue. We're going to go ahead and wait for that guy to go past. So I'm actually playing this probably about 50% of whatever. Definitely all low settings, and then like 50% resolution or something is my normal. That button. Okay, feeling much better about this so far than the last one. Boop. Just have to actually hit this button this time. Wee. And over here. Okay, great. Shoop. Slightly different route that we talked about last time. That'll be great if I don't fall off. There we are. Now I have to wait for the hole anyway, so I think it might be just as fast to come down here like this. Maybe even faster. Now you do have to, of course, then walk around to the top side. So this is not the one that stops, but it should be fine. Yeah. I actually don't like hitting the one that stops because it takes more time to get there, but it is also easier to line up the jump. But at this point, I'm pretty confident, speaking of... well, fine. That's fine. I'm pretty confident in my ability to hit that hole most of the time. Let's come all the way down here. That come up the steps a little bit in the cutscene, and then the camera wigs out just a touch. Then we come right on over here. Skip a little bit there. Come forward enough so that I can activate that last pusher. Okay, great. That's the first hurdle of this room to overcome. The rest of them are slightly less dangerous than that. Once I'm up here, it is very safe. I just have to not miss the jumps, which has not traditionally been an issue for me. So I don't anticipate that it will be in the future either. Okay, we come over here. That's not the first time I've seen that. I think like maybe I need to give this room just a little bit more time to actually load. I might be moving too fast for it. So the entities that send me back weren't anywhere near where their visual representations were, but they still caught Noctis, or still seem to think Noctis was in that. What in the world did I just do? I mean, sure, I guess. Okay, come on, fingers, work with me here. You have to actually hit the space button, the jump button, I guess, which is my space bar, at the correct time. Whip, 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 and whip. Whee! Okay, we're good. This weird interstitial area up here, the platform you have to do across the top, feels so safe because it's just this small little area that really doesn't matter much. But I have fallen off of that and then had to go back and redo rooms again because obviously once you're there, nope. Okay, we're going this route because I missed it. That's fine. It's faster than going back to the beginning and trying that again. I just have two methods for getting through that room, which is fine. Makes life simpler. Okay. Now there is a way. It's worth noting that there is a way to get into this room early without having to open that door. But again, with the all rooms percent, you are missing rooms if you do that, so it's not allowed. All rooms percent, yeah, sure. All rooms category. I should say, I can wait for this to stop since I have to be waiting for it anyway to get moved forward. And then I'm not as in as much danger as of accidentally running into spikes by riding a moving platform into spikes. Okay, great. And now we come around this corner and we hit this friend. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, that makes me so happy. Boop. Run right into the spikes during the cutscene so that I can respawn here. And I trip on those stairs for some reason. Jump here, jump here. Whip, whip, whip. Okay, great. Okay, I'm gonna try this once. And if I don't make it, then I don't make it. One, two, three, over. Nope, didn't make it. That's fine. That's fine. I prefer waiting here anyway, just less stress for me. Oh, I did hit the side rooms. We'll send that just a few seconds late, that's fine. I've accidentally run into those spikes before, and that's not a pleasant experience. So it does mean that I've added at least one, maybe two cycles to this, which isn't as nice, but I don't care. I probably should. It's a bigger time loss. Or it is quite a big time loss to not have made that because if I had made that, and I wasn't stuttering so poorly, good heavens. If I had made that, then I wouldn't have had to stand and wait around for it to get back to me, as we established earlier in practice. But I'm fine with that, honestly. I'm fine with standing around and waiting a little bit in this room, just because I get anxious, and I don't like my anxiety to get the better of me. Sweep. Sweep. Okay. Done. There it is. Let's get up here. Great. Ooh, I was afraid about that one. That felt like it was short. But we made it, so that's good. Bit. Alright. So, it's interesting. Well, I say it. It being the dungeon. This dungeon is interesting. Not the least of which because it doesn't seem to have a good reason for existing, besides the developers thought it was cool. But in the lore, it's just like, yes, and Solheim existed, and they seemed to have power over time and space, we guess? Sure, that's why this exists. It's like, that's... okay. Sure is some explanation you've got there. I don't quite buy it. Hit over here. Hit over here. Going down here. Here. And over here. Over here. And on down there. Sure. Then over here. Then over here. And on and up here. This is another reason why I want to get the music going as part of the stream, is that every twice in a while, and by twice in a while I mean actually kind of most of the time, I run out of things to say. And so letting the music be there for something interesting to listen to is good, in my opinion. Sure, why not? Let's go over the top this time. I think it might actually have been a little bit faster because we didn't have to wait for the recovery animation. Although we obviously did on that fall, which cost us getting into this round in time. At some point, I do want to find a good way to get through that round, or a consistent way to get through that round on the first try, because sitting and waiting for it is one of the more annoying spots that I had to sit and wait. Not the only spot by far, but one of the more annoying ones. Nope, just completely didn't jump. Oh, and they just completely walked off the side of the thing. What? Where am I? What's going on? There we are, that's what I wanted to see. Okay. Beep. So that's not bad. If I don't fall as far, then the recovery animation isn't as long. That makes sense. Get up in time to actually hit that, it looks like, which is nice. Then we jump. Then we jump. Then we jump. Then we jump. Yay, there we are. That's how that's supposed to look. Ooh, boy. Then fall off the edge. Get up here. Go here. I would like to... Again, talking about the fact that Noctis is definitely his own character. I wish I was a little bit more in his head during this. What was he commenting on as being unbelievable? The fact that the room is tilting? Because yes, it is unbelievable that anybody can engineer this entire room this way. Or the fact that there's just a giant statue. Because honestly, yeah, that's kind of unbelievable as well. Admittedly, I'm not sure who that's supposed to be. I think it's Shiva? Considering the Lord. There was a theory going around for a while that it was Eos herself. Eos being the... Oh, sure. Why not? Just fall off. That's fine. We'll just do this whole section again. No big. Eos, of course, being the name of the planet that they're on, and so possibly a kind of Mother Earth figure that isn't ever actually stated in the game, though. Some of the early promo art for the Hexathian, though, had a picture of Ifrit, who is obviously a main figure in this by the fact that you jump on his back twice through the normal course of things, 3 if you're going for some of the side items. Anyway, so this promo art has, and actually I think it's the still box art too, for the what was the collector's edition called? I don't remember, but I have it. I'm not sure exactly where my box is for it. I think it's actually in a storage container someplace. Anyway, Ifrit is carrying away a female figure, but the other 6 are all accounted for, including the Glacian. But in the actual lore of the game, especially the expanded lore that came out during Royal Edition, it is made very blatantly clear that the Infernian, Ifrit, and Shiva, the Glacian, were a couple. Oh, no! Shoot. You would think that at that point, the game would just be like, no, you're on the slide, it's fine. But no, if you're just off to one side or the other too much, it just stops all your forward progress. So we had to do this whole room again.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Nope. No. I'm too annoyed at what is happening in this room and what happened in the previous room to continue on with this run. Resetting. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a picture of Shiva, or a statue of Shiva. In the established lore of the universe, that kind of makes sense. I just don't remember Shiva ever having been depicted or stated in any of the lore I've read as having been what is the word? Restrained. That's the word. By Solheim. Because there was a war. There's no doubt that there was a war between Ifrit and Solheim, and the rest of the Hexathian were like, Ifrit, no? It's like, why are you picking on the little children? Because that's basically what they were in the eyes of the rest of the gods. But I don't recall that was based on Ifrit, or that was based on any problems with pulling a Niflheim and murdering or capturing one of the Xathian. As I recall, it was just that Solheim was getting uppity. And Ifrit was like, know your place, ants? Okay. But I guess it's possible that in the undocumented lore, which always exists, you know that there's always undocumented lore for these things that the creator has in their mind somewhere that they don't ever actually say publicly. That Solheim had captured Shiva, and that was part of the problem. Oh, I made it. Good. Wasn't so certain that that would happen. Oop. So this is one of the spots where it's actually safe to move Noctis in the cutscene. Safe for me to move Noctis in the cutscene. Honestly, the fact that he can move in cutscenes means that with enough practice and a steady enough hand, it would be safe to move him in any cutscene. I don't have either of those. My hands are fairly unsteady at the best of times, and I'm too lazy to practice. Or more accurately, I will practice a thing, decide whether or not I like to do it, and then just not do it. So like, so for example, actually, moving in cutscenes is a really good example. You have a really good view of Noctis being moved and where he is in relation to the statue as that statue's falling. And it's fairly safe, probably, to move him during that if you know exactly what you're doing. And I tried that a couple of times, and there was once when he just fell completely off and I had to restart the room entire, and I was like, nope, not for me, don't want to do it anymore, thanks. Which is kind of, unfortunately, the tactic that I'm taking with the what I'm going to call the ultra speed skip in the skull room. Or the ultra speed, I guess, isn't the proper term, but the what is the word? The first cycle skip, that's what we'll call it. Because, sure, I've tried it, and I know it's physically possible to do, and I don't like it, so I'm not sure that I ever want to do it again. Oh, look at that. I have not failed that one in a long time. Come to me platform. There you go. 1, 2, one little bit, 3. No, that was way off. Interesting. There we go. See how simple that one is? When I'm not getting completely and totally just in my own head. Oh, perfect timing. I need some kind of smooth, chill music right now. Which is what all of this is supposed to be, but that last track was just a little bit heart-pumping. No, don't run into those spikes, please. Thank you. I probably wait longer than I absolutely need to get there, but it's not like I can get ahead of it, so... Interesting that you have immunity to spikes when you're in the cutscene. So I definitely run him into all of those spikes in the middle of that cutscene. And he doesn't get teleported until the end of the cutscene. One. Nope. It's fine. It's fine. Again, it's notably slower because not only do I have to wait for it to come back here, but then once I'm inside of it, I have to wait for it, or once I'm on the other side of it, I guess I should say, I have to wait for it again over here. So I think you only skip like one cycle, honestly, but that's enough to really speed up the room if I were to get that more consistently. It is so nerve-wracking. I don't know that I care to get it more consistent. That's interesting. I've not missed that one in a while. I don't know that I care to get it more consistently. I think I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm not helped by the fact that sometimes, and by sometimes I mean like right there, my computer just kind of stutters just a touch. And so his hang time in the air is just a little bit more than it should be. I like the artificial album scratching as part of this track. Trying to make it sound like I'm listening off of a vinyl. Which I understand is kind of popular nowadays anyway, but doesn't hurt to compliment artists on things that you think are enjoyable. Okay, probably a good track. I need a little bit more down tempo right now. No, this doesn't count as down tempo. There we go, this is what I want to hear. So this is another spot where if I were to time it correctly, I wouldn't have to wait for another cycle of the monstrosity in the middle. So it's another spot where I should probably work on... bother. I should probably work on figuring out what speed I have to go there to achieve optimum, or the optimum cycle, I guess I should say. Just gonna sit here listening to the music for a little bit. It's good music. Get up, get up, get up. Nope, missed it. Okay. Those last few jumps always scare me. Mostly because I'm never quite sure if I'm going to get them or not. It's gone far enough around that I won't just fall off completely when I jump down. Over here, trigger the next bit, come back here, stand here. Now we stand here and we wait for this to move. It takes a while. Going well. Going well. This is going to be a great run. Boop. See there, we can... Oh, nope, nope, nope. Nope, there it was. That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, if I try and move in that cutscene, I'm more likely to fall off than to do anything good. So, you know. So I don't move in that cutscene if I can avoid it. Which I can. I just take my hands off the controls and call it a day. This jump is trickier than you'd think. Because there's not a ton of time between when you can... between when you can land safely and when you can still stay on the platform you're on. There's only a couple of seconds window there before the platform starts to... before you start to fall off the platform. And again, we sit here and wait. Whoa! I almost wonder if there's another quicker way through this room that isn't the boob skip. Because obviously getting that skip would shave some time off. There's no denying that. But also, I just feel like there might be a way that isn't that. Sure. I've never seen that happen before. I've gotten stopped there and thrown off several times, but I've never not just fallen the whole way through there. I don't know what just happened. That's actually quite odd. It's one thing I am going to do at the end of this, regardless of what time I get. Well, I guess not regardless. If I beat the 23 minutes that I put up earlier today, then I'm just going to leave it lie. If, however, that was the better time, which it probably won't be, I say as I run off the edge of the scaffolding. If, however, that was the better time, then I'm going to go back through the VOD of that, and I'm going to get all the splits manually. There. Don't walk off the edge. Again, that thing I said where sometimes it'll just take more steps than you think. It's like the accelerator on your car more than it is like directional controls for a video game character. It's like, go forward. Now stop going forward. But you'll drift a little bit. So gotta be careful. Oh, let's not fall off. Okay, we're good. Good to do. Bit of a run. I guess this would actually probably be a right spot to jump. Alright. So I discovered, in going back and reviewing the tapes, that the split I meant for this room is when I hit the next orange button, which is a ways out still. I wonder. Yeah. I think again. Oh, well, that was odd. I've not done that one recently. Oh, and it took me all the way over here too. Okay, great. That's just perfect. That's just great. So yeah, that hallway, I think, as I may have mentioned earlier, is easier, in my opinion, is easier to traverse with keyboard and mouse than it is with controller. Okay. Zircon, I like you, but I need something smoother at the moment. Lower BPM. Schwip. Schwip. Need to keep the heart rate down. The lower heart rate actually means that I'm better at this. Imagine. Okay, fine.
Yes.
I didn't actually jump there. I'm surprised I made it. That's another one where I daren't move the Noctis, because I don't trust him to not fall off the edge if I do. Okay. Go ahead and come up here. Here. Boop. Shoop. Boop. 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 That's one where I probably could move in the cutscene without too much issue. Just take the back step and fall down. Oh, I meant to hit that one a bit ago. That's fine. And I don't count the thing finished until I actually pick up the item. So I do need to go through this VOD as well, and there it is. Fan-friggin-tastic. Almost sub 20. There were several things that I messed up on, so I think I could get this down to almost 15 pretty easily. But I'm gonna go through the VOD of this and get those splits more exactly. In the meantime, I want to thank anybody who has been watching with me. I really appreciate it. Can I go back and listen to that Zircon track again? Yeah. This will be much more fun to listen to as we close out the stream. So thank you all, anybody who's been watching. I really appreciate that. 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 5 seconds. That makes me happy. I thought it would take a lot longer to hit that. But again, the last time I streamed, I was still in like 35 minutes. So yeah, I cut a lot of time out of that. I'm really happy. I feel like yeah, I could get this down to 15 easily. So yeah, thank you Thanks anybody who's been watching. I hope you've appreciated it, enjoyed it. Have a good one.